Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of the program Environment Watch on Independent Television. Today, we are on the Benin-Lagos Expressway on a spot called Isiho, opposite the S&T barracks. Last year, at the peak of the rainy season, this particular spot where I am now was a no-go area because it was heavily flooded. At that time, we did several episodes of Environment Watch trying to focus government's attention on the need to create a system where the flood water here will be removed. But thank God the rains are gone, and now with the dry season, as you can see, this whole stretch is all dry. But one thing that is very prominent here is the abundance of sand. This sand didn't just come here by accident. As a result of the flooding which has been ongoing here for some time, now the water is dried up, it's leaving behind this heap of sand. And the problem here is that if you look through, you see that the road has already been divided into two. It's supposed to be a dual carriageway, the Benin-Lagos Expressway, but what you have here is that the sand has not taken over one section, one part of the section of the dual carriageway going to Lagos, which some motorists have said it's making driving particularly difficult. So today on the program, our focus is on the environmental menace that is happening here, even without the rains, but the dry season here, the problem persists. We'll be looking at, for those who have business interests here, how they are coping with the situation of things here. My name is Sonny Duke Okosun. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of the program Environment Watch on Independent Television. We'll begin the show by bringing you a special report on the gully erosion that is threatening the very existence of the people of Igbosa community. We have that report. After the report, we'll be back with you to bring you more on this peculiar situation on the Benin-Lagos Expressway by Isiho, opposite the S&T barracks. Stay with us. A portion of Benin-Lagos Expressway, popularly called Isiho, has been ravaged by sand. The sandy area, which is opposite the S&T barracks in Benin City, is an issue of concern to the environment as it poses some dangers to the environment. The sand, which is the result of the effect of the heavy flooding of the area during the rainy season, has left the portion of the road in a deplorable state. Hazards posed by these sands are not restricted to environmental challenges such as encroachment into the road, which was actually constructed as a dual carriage, has been limited to a single carriage, especially on the section going to Lagos. It does not beautify the environment as there are sand heaps on the roadsides, which has resulted to plastic bags stocked in those sand heaps, with the sands emitting enormous dust as well. It also poses some degree of effect on the human health. The dust emitted from the sand goes a long way to affect the respiratory tract. Residents and motorists, as well as entrepreneurs in the area, have decried the deplorable state of the road. They lamented how the sand has caused accidents, loss of customers, etc. in the area. Thank you so much for staying with us on the program Environment Watch on Independent Television. We are at the Benin-Lagos Expressway, a portion of it called the Isiho section, which is opposite the S&T barracks. As I said in my opening, at the peak of the rainy season, this particular spot where we are right now was particularly difficult for you to walk on because it was heavily flooded. These are sand that has been dug out of this entrance to this filling station so that vehicles can pass into this station and get fuel product. And if you look closely, you see that the level of the entrance at this filling station is very high. The level is very high compared to this point. This was particularly done just to ensure that when the floods come, it doesn't have access to this filling station. And there's also another very interesting part of this section that you need to look at. You know, taking a look at this whole stretch of road, you see that it's taken over by sand. The last section of it is taken over by sand. But for most business owners in this area, in order to safeguard their houses, their businesses, and to get more patronage from customers, they have to put concrete embankment. That's what you see on this edge of the road. You have concrete embankment just to ensure that when it rains, it doesn't go. Like you see now, this car is finding it difficult to get in. This car is already stuck in the sand that is here, and he just have to go back a little bit to find a way to get in. And because he couldn't do that, he had to completely avoid that spot. That's what we're talking about. That's the situation that you find here. But I have a resident here who can tell us more on how they've been coping with this situation. Sir, good afternoon.
Hello, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine.
Please tell us your name.
My name is Vincent Okeku.
Okay, now, Mr. Vincent, at the peak of the rainy season last year, you guys continuously cried out for government intervention to remove the flood water. Now, the rainy season is gone, the dry season has come. Has the problem persisted or it's over?
The problem is still there. It's still ongoing.
So what is the problem now?
The problem now is no longer the water, but the sand percolated and is disrupting the movement of vehicle. Vehicular movement are altered here. Vehicle will come here to pass into this pavement is difficult. Some of them are trapped in the sand, and we have to call sometimes other bigger vehicle to tow. So passengers, instead of parking the vehicle, can just drive by and go somewhere else to pick up what they wanted. So it's still affecting business here.
To what extent would you say this has affected your business?
I can't quantify that. It's just God's grace that is keeping us on. The government should look into this. We've been crying out loud from the rainy time. They promised that in dry season they will come over. Nothing has been done. And no sign of anything being done even in the near future. So we are praying and asking them to come over and help us out here.
Okay, what effort have you made to reach out to the appropriate government agencies to that is saddled with the responsibility of dealing with this issue?
Well, it isn't me. But generally, there've been effort put in place. At least thanking when even the deputy governor came around here, he saw the sight of what is going on here. So they are aware. It's not as though they do not know what's going. But I don't know, that willpower to accomplish the job is not there.
Vincent, thank you so much.
I appreciate so. Thank you.
Okay, you just heard from Vincent what the situation has been here on the Benin-Lagos Expressway by Isiho as a result of the sand that has taken over a large portion of the section going to Lagos, which he said has brought untold hardship to them and has made their businesses to suffer. We also have another business owner here who has been staying here for a long time doing business. We just also want to know from him how this situation has affected his business. Hello, Oga. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name, sir?
My name is David.
David who?
Ayodele.
So, David, you get business here, Abi? So, this sand now, how it they affect your business?
The sand, a very long time, the thing they affect us seriously. Not even only me. So, if you look at the environment now, you see that many businesses have shut down, particularly where you stand now. There are a lot of business here. But because of the flooding and the sand and everybody there, so everybody quit away. So if you also look at my back here, you see some area there are stores. So because of this erosion, that's what closed the business there.
So you're saying businesses are closing up because of the sand and flood water. But now we don't have water, it's just sand we have.
Even the sand now, even worse than water. Because every time if you look at your back there now, a motor fabric there is the sand that run to, that help. If not so, we don't know what will happen. So when motor run inside the sand, now you just park vehicle there, now the vehicle cannot go without support of people. So the sand will just hold it down. So that's what we are facing here.
In a bid to curtail the challenge, residents and shop owners have constructed embankments on the roads, which though reduced the menace of flooding in the rainy season, but it's a major turnoff for customers in the dry season. They have also craved the indulgence of the appropriate authorities to look into the issue and fulfill their promises to ameliorate the situation.
A few months back, at the peak of the rainy season, we were here and to sample the views and opinion of those doing business here. As you can see, this place is an area designated for wood business. But today, we want to know from them what's the business like, because at the peak of the rainy season last year, they complained bitterly about how the flood is affecting sales. I have one of the businessmen here. Tell us your name.
My name is Mr. Emeka.
Emeka, yeah, last year you spoke to us about this place. That was at the peak of the rainy season. Now we're in the dry season. I'm sure the problem is over.
As you can see, there's no flood on the road, but that does not mean that the problem is over. And a few moments from now, few days from now, few weeks from now, rain will come back again. It's quite unfortunate that up to this time, the government have not done anything on this very particular issue. I don't know what kind of country we are in. A lot of people died because of this very problem within the period when it was raining. About 9-10 persons lost their life on this very particular issue because when it got flooded, every other person wants to use the other lane. They were driving one way. As a result of that, they were killing innocent people who were living around. Some of them were even our customers. So, and the government keep on telling us that they will come and fix the road. They told us last year that before the end of September, they are going to come and fix this road. We were celebrating in advance, hoping that they will come. But up till now, this is January, and if I'm not mistaken, today should be 15 or 16. And up till this time, we've not even seen any sign. No single trip of sand, no caterpillar, no grinder, nothing. Look at the place. And I don't know. It's quite unfortunate. Our business is already grinded. It's dead already. When you talk about business, just look around. Look at where people are doing their business. And some of these people are people who are paying tax to the government. So I just don't understand. It's quite appalling. So disheartening.
Emeka, thank you very much. I believe that if government has made a promise to be here to do something, let's just keep hoping that they will come before the rains eventually sets in to do something. Aren't you optimistic about it?
I am, I don't know how long we are going to continue hoping. Because when we are supposed to take them by their word, we are the people who actually elected them. Just look around, you will see that these people are not even ready to fix any of the road at all. They even told us that they are going to fix Ekosodi Road, fix Megon Road, fix Agen Road. They mentioned about 6 roads in this area that they are going to fix so that this thing will become very easy, even when they are trying to fix this one as well. But up till now, they've not even started any one, and I don't think they are ready to do anything from what we are seeing. Because any moment from now, rain will come back. Are they going to start working when it's raining? So I don't understand. Maybe there is something they are up to. If it's a magic, we will see. Okay, ever since all these problems, people are doing business here. People live around this place. This thing has become a very major problem to the people in this area. But we've never seen the governor of this state visit this place to say, let me go and see what is happening in that place. A lot of persons have died here because of this problem. We've never seen the government coming here to show concern. It is enough for the governor to come to this place and address the people in this area, encourage them, tell them that they should be hopeful and patient that the government will come and fix this place. But up till now, nothing like that. That is to say, we are just, I don't know what we'll call ourselves. You understand? So our leaders should wake up. They should wake up because there are so many things that are happening that is not supposed to be so.
My name is Patrick Emeka Izenaya.
How do you see this problem and how is it affecting business here?
As you can see, it's affecting business enough. Most of us here now, I can say it's only dry season normally do business here. During rainy season, we don't do business here because of the flood. So we are still waiting for the government. They made a promise, so we are still waiting for them. Nothing else.
Yeah, people have also said that even though the rains are not here yet, but you have a lot of sand which was left behind by the flood. Those sand that you have that has literally covered a part of the road, is it in any way affecting business here as well?
We expect government to come and see how they can be able to put a drainage along the road, then channel the water somewhere else, so that they wouldn't be flood again on the road. As you can see now, the road itself now is already spoiling. So, and if nothing is done, the road might be worse than this if rain comes.
My name is Benson Ogbewe.
Benson Ogbewe.
Yeah.
All right. The program is Environment Watch. Yeah. It's to look at the environment where things are not going on well. We'll bring it to government's attention.
Yeah.
Few months back, at the peak of the rainy season, this place was heavily flooded. In fact, it was difficult for us to walk with our legs in here.
That's true.
Now the rains are gone.
Yeah.
Now, is the problem over?
Not at all. It's not over. Here you standing now, it cost me 1.3 million to raise this place up for last year. That's why we still living in my house. All my tenants, they've all gone now. They say because during rainy season, they are not able to come out. Now, this is our country. This is federal government road. The federal government is not doing anything. The state government itself is not helping the matter. I would have expected Governor Obaseki to do something and ask for reimbursement. We're suffering here. The rainy season is coming now. This sand here now, as it's up now, when it's rain, I begin to sense that even flood will come into my compound. It's unfortunate that this country, they're supposed to protect our interests. A lot of businesses are closed down here. I don't know what this federal and the state government is doing to help us. I don't know what we're going to do with this coming rainy season again. Can you please help us drum it to the federal government, the Minister of Works and Transport, the Edo State Governor, the Federal Minister of Works, the Edo State Minister of Works. They should do something about this place before it is too late. Last year, lot of accident here because people were using the other lane. So we don't want that to happen this year again. If the state and the federal government could help us, we will be very thankful to them. All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
You heard from Mr. Ogbewe, who owns a business here, highlighting what this place has become.
The sand on the roadside is an eyesore, but it is dry season. One would think the dangers are not enormous because it is dry season. But what will be the fate of the road, the residents, shop owners, as well as motorists when the rains come again. The experience of last year at the peak of the rains will give you an insight into what to expect.
And just to look at the concrete embankment that has been created here, you can see the depth. Just take a look at it. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. So you have to be extra careful to be able to walk down from the concrete pavement, let alone a vehicle that probably needs to climb up here. It will be more difficult for you to achieve that. It is the hope and expectations of residents of these areas that the government at the federal, at the state, and even at the local government will do something urgent and drastic to stem this ugly tide here, particularly now that we're in the dry season, just before the rainy season sets in.
Actually, in that area, the Esantine area, Igosa catchment area, like we said before, new map has taken it over. So they're going to do a catchment disaster repair on that area. So and that will start anytime soon. They're just finalizing the issues with bringing in the contractors and so on. So that area would actually be captured this first quarter.
My name is Sonny Duke Okosun. Thanking you for staying with us on Environment Watch. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.